Welcome to the rave. Joe's
Welcome.
joining us early. I love
I know, don't you love it?
We give him a tutorial on how to join in, and this is what happens.
This is what happens when my whole screen goes down. I'm like in a sure panic trying to come back on. So my magic show didn't happen, but like, whatever. We're going live. I'm in it. So
we're here.
I'll do what I was told. Hold on. Now you guys can go.
Okay.
Okay. I love Binge Live because this is live. We could not make this up to save our lives. Like, this is freaking awesome.
That we were going to screw it up on the back end as production, but no. I'll leave that. Our guest screwed it up.
Meredith and Natalie are watching this going, yeah, this is what happens.
It's live. It's live. Well, hi, Joe. How are you?
I'm well, Christina. How are you? Good morning.
Joe. I'm great. It's Friday. I'm super happy. It's been a very productive week. There's a lot of things going on and a lot of activity happening. So things are good.
Like what? What's going on?
Well, we have a very robust calendar for September. We have our annual meeting of the membership. We have our installation. We have a state of aviation event. We have just a lot happening, and it's exciting to be able to offer all of these benefits to our members. So it's good stuff.
You guys really need to just stop taking it so easy over there. I mean, yeah, you're always busy, and I think that's freaking awesome. Like, you do so much for us. It's really cool.
And the kids are in school. Both the kids are in school. Things are going good.
That's great. And I'm sure they're happy to be back in school.
Yeah, maybe. How are you? What's going on in the desert?
I'm doing well. We're trying to stay cool. It is yesterday, I think it was about 115, but dry heat. So that's okay.
It's dry heat. Don't worry about it.
But you know what? The reality is you have air conditioning, you have a pool. It's kind of like no matter where you live, well, maybe not the pool part, but you got the AC. How often are you really outside during the day? Because you're working. So we went out to dinner last night, took a walk around downtown. It was awesome. And yesterday was a happy day, so we got to spend time with Chester, as always. So that was good.
It's always nice. And it's nice to be here with you because Meredith is usually in this place doing a better job. And I have to say it, how the heck are you? That's what Meredith would say. But she is just a busy little bee right now, and that's wonderful. Business is booming for her. So I'm always happy to fill in, especially with today's guest.
This is going to be fun. He is not the social media guy. So this will be entertaining, very entertaining to watch. And the viewers have already seen who it is. But I will let you go ahead and take it over.
Sure. So we are very privileged to have Mr. Joe Coleman of Decron Properties, who's their COO, Chief Operating Officer, joining us for Binge Live. Joe, come on down. Right.
So now, like the magic show, I needed to relieve the pressure, right? I know you guys were really worried, so I decided to mess up a few times just to make it really relaxing.
And we appreciate your effort. I think that was very generous of you. Obviously, you're a giver. That's very kind, Well, welcome. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
We appreciate your time.
We do.
So talk to us. So you're with Decron. So let's have the brief overview of who is Joe Coleman.
Who is Joe Coleman? Married, have 2 kids, 2 daughters, 13 and 10, Riley and Peyton. They're back in school, which is exciting. They had a great first day yesterday. So that made me very happy after a year and a half of not really interacting. It was pretty emotional to have them back in school and have them talk about their day. So was very excited about that. And Lauren, my wife, we met freshman year in college. So I'm excited about that. And avid sports fan, enjoy my job and enjoy my family.
So I'm imagining your kids are going to see something like, oh, Dad, this is your first time on social media and this is what you do.
Yeah, they're definitely going to mock me. But the best part is that anytime I tell them they can't be on social media, I can say, truly, yep, I'm not on it, right? Which a lot of parents can't do. Now, there's some other things that I'll tell them not to do down the road that I can't honestly say that I didn't do, but social media isn't one of them. So that's a win right there.
That is a win.
So tempting. That is so tempting to get into, but
yeah,
no time.
For sure. So tell us about Decron, Joe. I love this. I was reading your bio and it says, Joe is a dynamic leader committed to excellence and delivering best-in-class performance benchmarks. And I know that I get to work with you at the Chamber, and I know how dedicated you are to team. and creating the best out of your teams, which I know you do for the chamber. So tell me what you do at Decron and why you love that job.
What I do at Decron is, I run the operations side of things. Also sit on the investment committee, but what drew me to Decron was that it's a family company that really truly cares about all the team members. And so, we've really focused on continuous improvement throughout my time here. There's been a lot of change management and building a really great culture around just kindness, caring. And I say it on a lot of our calls. I use the word love a lot. I think it's a powerful word. It's not used in business enough. But when you use that word, that type of sharing creates a real community, and it creates a company that really has each other's back. And then, from there, the results take care of themselves. So yes, we do process. Yes, we, have a vertically integrated company, but truly, I think at the heart of Decron, it's a family-owned business, and we treat each other like family, and we really care about one another. And that's my passion. That's what excites me to come to work every day, is that I want to see my team get better and do better, and I want to hear about their families, their passion, their lives, and that's what I enjoy.
Now, really, you go there because you said before we went live, you get coffee in the morning and afternoon and lunch. I mean, really, that's the reason. That's got to be like in the top 5.
That's probably number 1, actually. But this was a show where I was trying to act like I'm such a giver. But thanks for blowing my cover, Joel. Appreciate it.
I wasn't trying to blow your cover. I said top 5. You said number 1. Like, that's completely on you.
Yeah, I was going to say, tell us more about Decron, because I know Decron's been involved with the chamber for a really long time. We had the pleasure of working with David Nagel for a very long time on Playa del Oro. You've been big supporters of many of our chamber events, but specifically our protectors and our 4th of July parades. But tell us who Decron is and what you do.
Decron's a real estate investment firm. We started out in California as mainly developers and single family homes. In the 80s, we moved to multifamily when David joined the organization and really took the helm. And the nice part about it is that we still like to develop, but we've now taken development into the value add perspective, where we buy communities, multifamily communities, and go in and upgrade them and make it a better home for our residents. And then we also own shopping centers, and we've recently expanded into Arizona. We're in Washington as well, and California, and hopefully we'll be expanding into Nevada soon. So exciting times.
That's awesome. So I'm sure we're both in real estate. So people are asking me all the time, what's up with the market? Which I always love that question. Like, we have a crystal ball and we're going, ooh, in the next 72 hours, it will do this. So could you have ever imagined that we would be seeing this huge surge in values right now? Like, everything is just going, it's wild. It's a wild time to be in it.
It is wild. And I think the main fundamental going into that is interest rates, right? When interest rates are so low, the affordability comes into play. And then from the multifamily side, it's continued to be a very good investment, a good generational investment that yields lower returns, a little bit lower risk, but consistent. And I think that's what Decron provides all of its investors, is a consistent dividend. We don't try and hit the home run. We don't buy real risky properties. We try and buy properties that we know that our investors are going to get a very good yield from, and a consistent distribution, and really set up an annuity for themselves for the long term.
Yeah, I think that's smart to approach it that way. This is a long-term investment. It's, and to approach it that way is really just the smart way to do it, I think.
And you get to do the right thing by the residents, right? You're not pushing and trying to exit as quickly as possible. You get to beautify the properties that our residents live and work at, and that ability to do the right thing for them makes it a nice relationship for our team and for the residents together.
You just said like the 2 biggest, most important words here, I believe, in the whole thing of real estate, is that it's relationship and it's a team, because that's really what this boils down to. Is, well, with any business, really, it's how you treat people. Yeah,
fair enough.
Kind of the way it goes.
And our culture extends, right? I use the term love. I use the term caring, right? That extends to the residents, and there hasn't been a better time for that than during the pandemic to really show that.
I appreciate that you use the word love in your meetings, because like you said, it's not used in business enough, and this really is. It should be. I mean, yeah. So how long have you been with Decron?
3.5 years.
Oh, very cool. Oh,
Mhm.
nice. And so you went for the coffee.
Went for the coffee, right?
Like, was that like a signing bonus? Like, did you put that in your contract?
It was the
3.
win. It was the absolute.
I want 3 coffees a day delivered to
that
my
was
desk.
the package. That was the package.
Signed.
It's a great
So
benefit
funny.
to get, I gotta say.
So this is a chamber show. So Joe, I kind of hate the fact that it's Joe and Joel. That's kind of tongue tying me. But Joe, why did you get involved with the chamber?
So I got involved in the chamber. Decron was always involved in the chamber from when they developed our largest asset, Playa del Oro. And we got involved in the 4th of July parade when we developed that asset. And then I was introduced to Tom Flintoff and Chad Nader at Coffee Bean at our place. And they said, hey, would you like to actually be on the board? And I had sat on several boards in the Bay Area. And I said, okay, I'll sit on the board, but I'll be warned, if I'm going to be on a board, I'm going to be active, right? And they welcomed that, and they seemed like really good people. And so I was like, sure, sounds good. And David Nagel has always spoke highly of the LAX Chamber, and it's been a very good partnership. So I was excited to join.
So I always refer to him as a cult. Christina knows this.
Cult.
It is. I mean,
It's a family. It's a family. And we have love in our family too.
That's what cult leaders
Lots
say.
of love
They
in our
say
family.
So yeah. No, it is. It is a great group of people. I mean, Christina knows how I feel about them, and everybody who's watched this show knows. But it's an incredible group of people that genuinely work to build business, but also just the relationships. Because when I joined the chamber, I had no idea what it was going to be like, and it turned out to be this huge extended family that everybody's there to support you and push you and network, and it's an incredible thing. It really is. That's the subtle plug for the chamber. So yeah.
Thank you. Well, thank you. I'll give you guys the money that I owe you for that. One of the things that, Joe mentioned is that he just really dove in and got involved. And I think, both of you actually share that in common because, as an organization with 500 plus members, and you have, we have 34 board members. We have a ton more volunteers and committee leads. And really, it's so refreshing to have volunteers that are so engaged and so willing to give of their time, which is such a precious commodity. And both of you do that. And so Joe has been really instrumental in our treasurer. He's our treasurer. He's our chairman-elect. He serves as the chair of our strategic planning committee. And that's one of the things I'm super duper excited about because Joe, do you want to talk a little bit about our strategic planning effort and sort of some of the things that you're seeing as we move forward and out of this pandemic, hopefully?
Yeah, so the strategic planning effort, Christina, Chad, Kelly, Judith have all talked about what the next steps of the chamber are. And you can see that their passion comes out. And that's what made me want to get more involved is how can I support this great group of people? And as they're talking through change management and what's next, I said, okay, well, what does the mission look like? What are the values? What are we trying to accomplish as a chamber? And everyone had a little slightly different answer. And then I said, okay, well, where's the strategic plan? Well, it was written X number of years ago, right? I said, okay, well, maybe we start there and create some initiatives going forward. And the nice part about it is John Launer, the past chair, Ray Lamoth, current chair, and myself, there's some continuity there. We're all excited about supporting this vision of creating a strategic plan that grows the next generation of leaders and creates continuity throughout the organization. And really, with that plan, it supports Christina and her team. And it starts with really solidifying what the mission of the LAX Chamber is, what the vision is, and then truly what the values are, how we behave, how we our roles and responsibilities, and then how we behave with and treat one another as a chamber. Because it's only a family if we treat one another a specific way, if we develop a chamber culture. And it feels like it's there, but it needs to be defined. And that's what I'm excited about is defining the chamber culture, because just like at Decron, I think once you define the culture, everything else takes care of itself. You bring people on who embrace that culture and things start to snowball. There's an energy around it and that momentum can't be stopped. And that's what I'm excited about.
I'm excited about it too. He said culture. Did you hear that? Culture?
That's right.
Yeah, we all hear what we want to hear. So how has to bring Decron back into the picture, how has the relationship between the chamber and Decron, what's the synergy? Yeah, there's a word you don't get to use enough.
Well, we start off as developers. That's how we got into the chamber. And one thing that the chamber does really, really well is it connects people, right? It not only connects people, in interbusiness relationships, with political relationships as well. And from a developer standpoint, having political relationships is very important. And so that's been helpful for Decron. But also, there's a protectors event, and that means a lot to Decron. It means a lot to myself and my family. And so there's been alignment there. And 4th of July parade with Decron, and then I brought my family to it the first year I was aboard. So again, to me, it's how you live your life. And then if you live your life that way in business as well, there's complete alignment and synergy across the board. And that's what creates the synergy between Decron and the chamber as well, is that there is similarities in culture and what we're trying to accomplish for the community and for our businesses. And so it's nice.
So has Decron really found that have you guys had a lot of growth? Like where do you see the future of the company going? I know you're branching out, you're expanding and everything, but what's the goal? Don't just say no, please.
Our goal is to grow. But I just talked to my team again about growth, right? Whenever we think growth, we think financial growth as a business, right? And we are doing that. And assets under management is a commonly used term in the real estate business. And when I joined, we were at 6,000 units, and we're going to be at 10,000 units by the end of the year, hopefully. So tremendous growth there. But as I talked to the team, I talked about numbers, and I talked about growth, and I talked about assets under management, and we're X billions of dollars of a company. But the main growth that I talked about to the team was the growth of us as individuals, the growth of us over the last year and a half, really caring for one another, showing that care, growing together as an organization. And that's my theme. That's what I'll always stick to. And then we did a video. Some of you have seen our video. Decron Strong song that came out, and we put that song together.
It's a music video. It's not just a video, it's a music video.
And talked about our culture and developed the Decron song. And that's something I'm very proud of. And to me, that growth supersedes any growth in assets under management, because if you have that growth as a culture, you're going to grow financially exponentially.
So I have to ask this one really quick before we go into everybody's favorite section. But so Dr. Kevin Shane, who leads Leadership Academy, always talks about the culture of an organization. And one of the subjects that I know Christina and I have spoken about, and we did it at Leadership Academy 3.0, was talking about the freezing and the unfreezing of a company culture. So the pandemic created an opportunity for change and growth and serious reflection. What was your reaction to this? Like, did you find a different way to approach the culture at your company? Did you reevaluate things, or?
Yeah, I think we needed to connect. Everything was on Zoom, right? So you had to find different ways to connect. So we have a cartoon examples. We have a cartoon that goes out every week that people can caption, right? And then we vote on it. We did the song. We had desks at Decron when everyone was working remote, right? You had to guess whose desk was that. There was just different ways of connecting, which made it fun and enjoyable. We did a step challenge. But as we come back to the office, we reevaluated, we surveyed our team members. I think it's important to really listen to the team and what they thought and lessons learned from the pandemic. Lessons learned from the pandemic is working remotely does work. And having a hybrid model coming back to the office is something we've embraced, and we consider it core days. On Monday, Wednesdays, we have core days in the office where we have a lot of collaboration meetings. The team can expect to have a lot of meetings on that day, but that's because all departments are around and we can have good, in-person communication. And then on your days that you're not in the office, you can really dig into any project or really just hone in and get in that zone of getting through your work. And listening to the team, that was one of the reasons why they didn't like being in the office. It wasn't just the commute or anything like that. It was, I get interrupted a lot when I'm at the office. And I think we all found that true. And so we've embraced that, a little bit of change there. And again, just really focused back on taking care of one another, right? And being kind is a big thing, right? And so that's been a lot of our communication over the last year and a half.
I think what's really cool about that comment too, just and knowing you, Joe, for the last several years, is that when you talk about the freezing and unfreezing of a culture, and that's Lewin's model, so I want to make sure that I say that because Kevin always wants me to cite what it is, Lewin's model. I think that what was really important, what I saw with Decron specifically, is that the foundation was already there pre-pandemic. So it was a really easy transition to sort of just refine. For a lot of organizations, they weren't really having a strong foundation pre-pandemic. So I think that everybody's in a different place, but I really want to congratulate you and your leadership at Decron. I'm so impressed with what I see. I've known them for a very long time, and I just think I'm really impressed with what Decron has continued to become and evolve and grow. And I know, Joe, that you had a lot to do with that. So congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And with that, are you ready?
Yeah.
Well, we need a drum roll. Drum roll, please.
This is the budget we have here, so we got to talk about this as well.
This is an expensive microphone. It's just not connected. All right. Joe Coleman, you have 3 seconds to answer the following questions. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right.
Calm down.
If your life was a movie, what song would be on the soundtrack?
What song would be on the soundtrack?
Songs would be on the soundtrack?
It would be from the movie The Holiday. Arthur's song at the very end when he creates a soundtrack for Arthur, and Arthur goes skipping up the stage, very jovial, happy man. That would be my song. I'm very upbeat. I look at life, glass half full, completely full. I'm just happy to be here and grateful every day. And that song, that it just feels good, and Jack Black doing it. That would be my song. It would be just music.
Okay, I'm going to have to watch that because I don't remember that at all. Next question. What is the most embarrassing thing you've ever worn?
A Speedo that I created for a houseboat trip that was homemade and very obnoxious.
I think you should stop there.
And wore it in front of many families.
Please show this video to your kids.
They've seen photos.
Moving right along. Finish this statement. It drives me crazy when people
are unkind to one another.
All right. What is your favorite word? I think we already know it. Love, right? Love?
Kindness.
Kindness.
No
okay, got it.
Answers.
Sorry. What would you name your boat if you had one?
Overpaid.
This one's for you. If coffee was illegal, what would its street name be? No, nothing.
I got nothing.
You would snap. How about black gold? I don't know. Okay. This is going to be the last one because you kind of stumped me. What terrible movie do you love?
What terrible movie do I love? Point Break.
That is pretty terrible.
If Point Break's on TNT, how do you not watch Point Break and then wait for the meatball sandwich line? Utah, give me 2.
So now, are you talking about the original or the remake, though?
The original.
Okay.
The original.
Sure, making sure.
Well, thank you, Joe, for that amazing and wonderful lightning round questions. Joe is the most fun, serious person I've ever met in my entire life. You never know what you're going to get, serious or fun.
Interesting. Depends on if he's had his coffee delivered that day. I think that's really
That's right.
That's fair. That's fair. That's just fair. Well, this was awesome, Joe. So before we wrap up, what's a good way for people to learn more about yourself and Decron?
Learn more about myself and Decron. Go to our website. And I think really learning more about myself or Decron is talk to our team. I invite anyone to talk to our team and ask them, what they feel about Decron, what they feel about me. I think you'll get a lot of the same conversation that we're an organization that cares about people.
That's awesome. This has been like a really uplifting Friday morning. I love it.
Right. That's
Thank
right.
you. It's fun.
That's why we love Binge, because now everybody, because nobody found him on social media, now everybody knows who Joe Coleman is.
Or he has a pseudonym that nobody's telling us, that he's not telling us.
That's right. I'm the Kevin Durant of the business world. I have a bunch of random social media accounts.
And something else, I know I mentioned this, but Joe will be taking the position of leadership come July 1 of 2022, and he will be serving as our chairman of the board for the chamber. So I wanted everyone to meet him because he's going to be front and center for the chamber, and we really appreciate his dedication and involvement. I really think under Joe's leadership, the chamber has continued to grow. And the culture that he pushes through Decron he's pushing through the chamber, which I think is really spectacular. And we have great things ahead.
Yes, we do.
Awesome. And on that note, thank you, Joe, for joining us. Thank you, Christina, for filling in for Meredith. This was awesome. Like, seriously, this was great.
So,
thank you both.
Have a very productive weekend.
Yes.
Yes.
Bye, everyone.